Korea, how long does the regime survive, and where did the great leader disappear to for about 60 days now?
This is a time warp country. I've actually been in North Korea, and I will tell you, it is a pathetic excuse for civilized life over there. The dynasty is a total hoax. It is run on a faux religious basis that the Kim Il-sung came down from the Mount Pektu in the form of a bear, and then he turned into a tiger, and then he turned into the great leader, and then he ran the country brilliantly, and they chased all the bad people out, and on and on and on, and then his son came along and did even better than Kim Il-sung, and now we have Kim Jong-un. It is a dynastic situation that has very little talent, but brutal fear. Brutal fear, and they use starvation as a weapon. When I was there, we were trying to leverage food delivery against them stopping some of their proliferation of nuclear materials and nuclear equipment and stuff, and asked them to behave a little better. And the Minister of Agriculture looked at me right in the eye. Nancy Pelosi was with me. I think she attested this, and said, "We don't care if 5 million people starve. That's not our concern. That's 5 million less people to worry about. We are going to continue to do this because we're trying to develop these things and become, take back South Korea's over." It's just in a complete time warp. There's nothing I can say. The whole spirit of the country, when you go and you talk, is everything's bigger than life. You walk into the Parliament building, which is huge, the biggest Parliament building in the world, and the biggest statue of the leader in the world, and the biggest soccer stadium in the world. They don't play soccer in it, but it's the biggest one in the world. And then they have the Temple of Self-Reliance, because this is all about Korean self-reliance. The Temple of Self-Reliance, built on the precept of Chuche, which I don't speak Korean, but that loosely means self-reliance. You go to the temple, and it's this marvelous Washington Monument type thing. You go up to an observation tower, and a plaque says, "Thank you to all the people who gave us money to help us build this temple." And you think to yourself, this is self-reliance. And you point out to say, but these people all helped. These are not North Koreans. These are Americans. I recognize the names who came in and helped. You built this temple. They said, yes. But they couldn't have done it without us. So I said, okay, you win.
But how long did they survive? They said until the Chinese are convinced to pull the plug. How long did they survive?
Without the Chinese protecting them, and the Chinese are not protecting them because they like to protect them. They're protecting them because they don't want the problem on the northeast border right now. It's been that way for years. The Chinese have this problem of how are you going to keep them down on the farm? And there is a real worry in how China, how its evolution, its economy is adjusting. It isn't just Hong Kong these days. If this message starts to get out, this technology we're talking about, all this information that's flowing is causing unrest, and that unrest needs to be controlled. They don't need it in North Korea. I think they will tolerate the North Koreans. I think they will protect them for a while because they find it as a useful diplomatic lever in their negotiations, the 5-party negotiations, or the 2-party, or the 3-party, or whatever party you want. Certainly it would help them with the Senkaku Island dispute going on with Japan.
But rather than risk chaos and millions of North Koreans in China and us, the Chinese fear of us on the border, wouldn't the Chinese be in a much more powerful state if they actually help negotiate and have a stake in negotiating a reunification of South and North Korea?
You know, I guess I'd put it this way. If you live in a bad neighborhood, you want a good dog in your backyard. And I think the North Koreans are their dog. They're sort of the pit bull that they threaten to let out.